It was supposed to be the trip of a lifetime. My partner and I had always dreamed of exploring the Amazon rainforest, and we finally saved up enough money to make it happen. We spent months planning and preparing, poring over maps and packing all the supplies we thought we might need. But little did we know that our holiday plans would turn into a nightmare. We flew into Manaus, the capital of the Amazonas state in Brazil, and set off on a boat to take us deep into the heart of the rainforest. The journey was bumpy and exhausting, but we were too excited to care. We gazed in wonder at the lush greenery and exotic wildlife that surrounded us. But as the days wore on, things started to go wrong. Our boat broke down, and we were stranded in the middle of nowhere, with no way to call for help. We were forced to set off on foot, hoping to find some kind of civilization. We trudged through the dense undergrowth, and our supplies dwindling as we went on. Mosquitoes swarmed around us, and we were constantly on the lookout for venomous snakes and spiders. But we were determined to find our way out. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, we stumbled upon a small village. We were overjoyed at the thought of finally getting help and some much-needed rest. But our joy was short-lived. The villagers were a tribe of indigenous cannibals, and they saw us as nothing more than a source of food for their rituals. We were captured and thrown into a dark, damp cell, left to rot until it was time for us to be sacrificed. Over the next few days, we watched in horror as the cannibals performed gruesome rituals and feasted on the bodies of their victims. We could only imagine what our fate would be if we didn't manage to escape. The sight of their sharp teeth tearing into flesh and the smell of roasting human flesh made us sick to our stomachs. We knew we had to escape, and fast. After days of planning and scheming, one night we finally managed to break free of our shackles and flee into the jungle. In that darkness, we ran for our lives, not knowing where to go. We ran blindly where we could find a way. We just wanted to get away as far as possible. We were lost in the Amazon for days, surviving on whatever we could eat and on a lookout for danger. We were battered and bruised, our clothes in tatters, but we refused to give up. Exhausted from the run and no hope, we took a shelter under a huge tree. We both looked at each other and wondered if we would ever make alive. At that moment, we heard some rumble. Someone was approaching from a distance. We could hear the rustling of dry leaves as each footstep came closer and closer until a figure emerged. At first, we were frozen to death. As naturally, we assumed that it's a villager. But we were relieved to see a civilized man with a backpack and a camera hanging from his neck. A wildlife photographer had been wandering around hoping to capture some exotic species of birds. He was slightly confused seeing us, but there was no time to explain everything. We cut it short and he understood the urgency of the situation. He took us to his base camp, where we met few other people. And finally we got the help we needed. From there, we straight away went to the airport and took the first flight back home. Looking back on that terrifying experience, I can't believe we made it out alive. But we did, and it's a memory that will stay with me forever. I would never wish what happened to us happens to anyone else. The Amazon rainforest may be a beautiful and breathtaking place, but it is also incredibly dangerous. If you're thinking of going, be warned, the risks are real, and not everyone you meet will have your best interests at heart. Stay away if you value your life.